Many more will show up as the day goes on. I'm Sally Jarnicki. I'm a member of the House of Representatives in the Republic of Texas. First thing we're going to do this morning is we're going to have a memorial to some of the people that we have lost here in the last few months and before that, who spent a lot of their own money, their own time to try to get the Republic of Texas up and running, and they aren't here today. So Rich Perkins is going to do a memorial to them. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. We need your support as never before. And I think when you hear about this memorial and these people that basically pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to do everything we do to give you greater independence and greater freedom, you appreciate what we're trying to do for all of Texas. This is in remembrance for those Texans who stood for liberty and who went home to be with the Lord. Let us not forget those Texans when we remember the Alamo. I'm sure we all remember. Does everybody remember the Alamo? Okay. I want to give you a quote to let you know what these men, before I tell you who they were, what their principles were and what they lived by. This is a quote by, first of all, Thomas Jefferson. He said, when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. Here's another quote by Carl von Clausewitz, 1831, but still very alive today. Not him, but the principle. A people can value nothing greater than their own freedom and dignity, and must defend these with their last drop of blood. There is no duty as sacred and no higher law. The pernicious belief that one can serve these without conflict and by avoiding danger is both false and poisonous. Danger can only be met with virile courage, joined with a calm and firm resolve and a clear conscience. These virtues alone form the true leaders of a people and bring into being the martial forces that can win the deepest and cherished dreams of humanity. Now, the people that we're memorializing today. I want to tell you at the start, though, that these people came from all different positions in the Republic of Texas constitutional government. And they were in here since 2005 to the present, and we still have a representative government now, which you'll find out more about later. Well, we have people who are representatives, we have people who are justices, we have people who are attorney generals, and we have people who are chief justice. And we all were part of a body and part of a team. So the emphasis is on the team, not on the individual. On this team is Jim Pearl, Alan Bridges, Norman Scholl, Don Bennett, Rice McLeod, Michael Grady, Nick Nichols, Bob and Jean Will, Lionel Ronell, and Robert Taylor. Now, one final quote that I know these people would like you all to hear is from the document The Crisis, which was written by Thomas Paine, December 23rd, 1776. Quote, these are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country, but he that stands by it now deserves the love and thanks of men And thank you all for giving this presentation, and please remember the Republic of Texas in your prayers.
Okay, they asked me to sing a song in honor of these people that we're memorializing today. This is a song I chose. It's written by a little red-headed gal from Uvalde, Texas, named Frances Octavia Smith, who left Uvalde and headed west, out the West Coast, and got into the movie business. Hitched up with a cowboy from Duck Run, Ohio, changed her name from Frances Octavia Smith to Dale Evans. And this is a song I'm sure you'll know. Ask y'all to sing with me. Some praise a happy one, it's the way to ride the trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you. Happy praise to you. Until we meet again. Happy praise to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy praise to you until we meet again. I'm going to turn it back over to Sally.
Thanks, Bill. That was really nice. And now we're going to have up our next speaker, who is Ray Cannon, our Supreme Court Justice. And he is going to give us a little lesson on how the Republic of Texas is going to declare their independence. And I'll let Ray tell you about that.
Is it on now? Yeah, okay. Makes me more comfortable. I know there can't be one or two of you out there that knows less than I do. Now, before I get into these, I like to read these. That's what I do most of the time, is read anyway. This was a speech given by a certain individual before the Hague in Brussels when he received the Hague Prize. If you understand anything about international law, most of it accumulates in Europe. And we have to understand that we as Texians, to become once again a free, independent, sovereign nation, our association is going to have to be with the world. A lot of time we look at our own little community and area, and we're uncertain as to those things that are other than what we're reported to under the so-called media today, which gives us a basic understanding of what they want to teach us. So when we look at Texas and we try to understand Texas, because we know the history from 36 to 45 and the annexation, which is a whole other story. But today we look at the people. And sometimes we're obsessed with numbers. How do we deal with other countries even dealing with just numbers, a few numbers? It's a question that's a hard one to answer because we're looking at an accumulation that's come down upon each one of us in every category of our life. and we point our fingers at Austin or DC. How did all this come to pass? It's easy to blame 500 and something in Washington, those in Austin. Well, what about the blame for ourselves for letting this to happen? Because a lot of questions arise as when dealing with, as far as the potential of that element that we call government. Most of us don't want to get involved because, well, there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, they're not going to change. And we've seen that over generations and what's happened to us. Now we look at as far as the international community, and we say the same thing with them. We say when someone mentions the word UN, automatically, we think of something very evil. So we neglect it, or use what I call superstitions in understanding it. Well, today is the 21st century. We don't know if there's going to be a 22nd. But we know that today we're going to have to get involved and do something. And the numbers are good. But if you study the scriptures, as I think most have, we brought up in Sunday school much, you understand that the arbitrator likes doing things with just a few. So if there's a few, then who do we seek to lead us? The arbitrator. One that created everything. So give you an understanding of what today, the 21st century, in this individual's speech, he's dealing with the international community in a sense that maybe most people don't realize. And I'm going to cut on into it here a little ways. I am mentioning this because if in appearance my contribution to international law is measured up in and articles and other writings covering a wide range of topics, these in their turn are not theoretical examinations of topics that at times might seem esoteric and removed from day-to-day realities. Now we're all living, we're all breathing, we have day-to-day realities. This is what is leading me to what I think should be seen as the central issue in this speech, the place of international law in the daily life of the average human being. It is not sufficiently realized by the general public or indeed by the average practitioner of law in any country, just to what extent international law regulates the daily activities of every man, woman, and child, mostly today through the operation of an international treaty, and of national legislation based on and deriving from an international treaty. In today's international law, the treaty is from a quantitative point of view the primary source of most of the day-to-day rules of international law. And what he's doing right here is giving you an understanding. Most of us believe because, like myself, I prefer sitting at home, sitting on the front porch, drinking a cup of coffee. Get up, go to work, go home, do the things around the house. But the realization of it is that today, every aspect of your life, in some form or fashion, is created because of an international treaty. When you wake up in the morning and spray yourself with some toiletry, the chemical which moves that spray is governed by international law. When you take a cup of coffee with your breakfast, international law. More than one branch of it lays down how that coffee reaches your table. When you drive your car to work, the road signs on which the discipline of the road and your personal safety depend on are governed by a major international treaty. At the same time, the exhaust that your car may emit is also regulated by international law. The protection of the environment being now a major international preoccupation involving serious conflicts of interest reconciled only with difficulty. I could go on repeating this indefinitely for almost every activity that you undertake during the following 24 hours. The international law even has something to say to help you to sleep peacefully. The international protection of the environment, now extending to the prevention of pollution by the noise of aircraft. Now pause a minute. Have you ever thought about it? Do you think of it when you drive down here and stop in and get gas at the gas station? Get yourself a cup of coffee. It kind of spells you, don't it? To understand that today, the 21st century, in some form or fashion, international law affects everything we do. My journey from my home to here involved regulations and agreements laid down by a series of international organizations and bilateral agreements between governments, together with at least one non-governmental organization. Let me name them. The International Civil Aviation Organization, regulating civil aviation generally, including the requirements for an international airport and the international airports do have. For traffic separation, for the maintenance and regulation of air corridors, for overflying national territories, for flying over the high seas, overflight being one of the freedoms of the seas regulated by the new law of the sea. You see, sometimes we get caught up in a system where we just understand the few particulars that we deal with, and those little clauses or statements may pique our interest for a short time. But you got to grasp the whole spectrum, that of the whole world being regulated in some form or fashion by a treaty agreement. Because when we get angry at what's happening, it comes out of Washington, because they even heard on the news the other day that the EPA now states that they can garnish your wages for a violation. And most of us that live in the rural areas, we don't understand or comprehend that. We've gone on, generation after generation, dealing with our subjects, our lives, our personalities, our problems, not realizing that other than that sole supposed government authority, not doing the will of the people, but the will of international association. So we claim sovereignty. Everyone looks at the U.S. and claims sovereignty. The sovereign U.S. It's not. It hasn't been for a long, long, long time. Because like most of us, as I've spoken of earlier, we sat in our chairs, did our thing, moved about. It's like I'd seen on a bumper sticker the other day. I couldn't read all the bumper sticker, but it said basically this, that when people see me with a six-pack, they think it's bad. I look at it like group therapy. Here's the problem. Most of us will sit and gripe at the workplace, on the phone, with our family. We'll come to meetings. We'll listen to the Patriot radio station. It's become group therapy. You've erred and vented, and that consoles you to just sit and wait. We hope there's another day. Now we move to the International Telecommunication Union, ensuring safe radio communications to guide the aircraft through the flight, the International Labor Organization, governing the working conditions of the aircrew, the World Meteorological Organization, Consolidating the availability and diffusion of weather information is essential for a safe flight. The World Health Organization, which lays down the regulations essential to prevent the transmission of dangerous diseases by insects inside aircraft,